Hi again guys, right, I'll get to my next video now, which I'll try and run through quick again as well. I had a wee incident on Saturday at the weekend there when I had my kids this weekend. I had my sister in the vehicle as well. She was in the front, my two kids were in the back. And I'd been thinking, now I'll get into the detail of this, and give you a basic rundown. I was taking my sister to the local stables just outside Blackburn, between Blackburn and Seafield, to a stables up there, where a lassie that she knows has a couple of horses there. Now, what happened was, as we were coming past, as we were approaching Blackburn, I had a big massive white 4x4 Mercedes Benz thing, driven by some elder gentleman. To say the least, he was right up my arse to the point where he could have kissed my arse in the front seat. That was bad enough, but then what happened was, as we got down through Blackburn and headed towards Seafield, as we left Blackburn, I then had a wee Volkswagen Golf or Polo behind me, driven by a middle-aged gentleman, if you can call him that. He was that aggressively tailgating me and trying to overtake me on blind bends and right up my arse that you couldn't actually see in and out my rear view mirror apart from his head, his face and half his windscreen. It was that close to the back of my vehicle and driving at speed, and it was a 30 mph zone. It touches 40 mph as you leave Blackburn, as you approach the stables and then into Seafield that way, if anybody knows the area and they're local. As I reached the address that I was going to with my sister, I pulled over, and as the guy tried to aggressively overtake me and nearly collide with the back of me as I stopped at the property where we were going, I blasted the horn at him. And to say the least, I was calm, but I was severely pissed off. My words to the gentleman were, because after I blasted the horn, he stopped the car and I drew up alongside him, and he says, "Problem?" I says, "Aye, you're on camera, tailgating me aggressively and violently." And all I got told was to fuck off. No, I'm not being funny, and I might get a few comments in regards to that, who, for the normal haters on YouTube who didn't like these kind of videos, for cyclists, motor vloggers, or other dashcam users, when they're not targeting folk, but when you get these videos and you get the normal haters with their comments, probably I can guarantee the normal comment would be, "I'd tell you to fuck off, I know mate." I said, "Well, I'm sorry." I said, but my reply was short, sweet and simple to the guy. I said, "No, fuck off." I said, "I've got my kids in the back of this car, you prick." I said, "You're putting them in danger, not just me." So, to say the least, the gentleman, I had made a boo-boo at this point. Earlier on that morning, about half an hour beforehand, we had just returned for our normal run to McDonald's in the morning, as we do most weekends with the kids. We were nipped into McDonald's, nipped to the market, and then a couple of shops, and vice versa. Now, because of all that running about, just been and sitting in the car parks and that, I put my power socket off, so that meant my lights were off and my cameras were off. I hadn't put them back on. So this entire incident, both tailgaters and then me confronting this gentleman who was putting my kids' lives at risk along with my vehicle and other road users, I didn't hear it recorded. So unfortunately, it's that gentleman's lucky day, because I've not been able to report it to the police, because I would have been pursuing charges of dangerous driving, never mind getting an ASBO against the vehicle, because you do not endanger any other road user, especially when I'm carrying my kids in this car. And it's just completely unfortunate, and I felt like a prize winning numpty when I got home and realised the camera was off and hadn't been recording any of my journey. So, on that note, because of the two incidents of tailgating, and because of the aggressive nature of the second one in particular, where it was putting my kids' life at risk, and I'd been going through this notion for a wee while, wondering, do I do it, should I put one in it or no? So what I ended up doing was, as you know before, I've got a couple of dash cameras that I sell, and I've gave a lot of cameras to people at my work, etc. as well, and installed them for folk, etc., and including a lot of family members as well. I had a couple of spares lying about in terms of actual camera units and cables, etc., and just odds and ends for a number of units, enough to make a couple of kits up anyway. So what I've done is, me and my pal that's done the lights and everything else, who's given me a hand out with them, we've managed to wire up a rear view camera with one of the units, and I'll talk you through it just now. If I take the camera here and show yous, you've got your normal, where all my 4-way sockets are. I've got my two lights, plugged into 2 sockets down here, and I've got my camera for the front here, my Roadhog system plugged into the front. This one here is off a separate 4-way adapter socket that we actually cut off and just spliced the wires again for the power source. Now that goes under my steering column, and what we've done is it actually goes, I need to grab my torch here so I can show you exactly how clear it is and just kind of talk you through it that way, if I can find my torch. Right, so what happens is, it's, hold on, what I'll do is I'll actually flip my camera around. No, I can't do it. It goes under the steering column, it comes down the door column here and along the floorboard underneath the step area, through the back here, and then continues in behind the seats round the back here to the boot line. Now, oh, pardon the mess. This is where it comes out. Comes out just in here. All this the wee pocket here for where the vehicle VIN number or whatever it is that's placed. And there's the wee 4-way USB adapter, well 3-way adapter with a USB port in it. And we've got it wired in here with a couple of extensions because it's a USB cable charger that's in it. And as you can see, it's all wired up there and all connected in. And then it continues up through the door frame here towards the camera itself. Up the door frame roof line, the boot lining, into the back bit here. Just along into the middle of the windscreen where it's taped up again. And then it continues on to the actual camera unit itself, which is situated just in the middle of the windscreen, getting a full view of the road behind me. And I'll actually show you it inside it, just that wee bit. If I can get my boot shut without raking it in. I don't know if you can see it clearly enough, but there it is in the back window. And there it is situated in the rear view window now. Nice neat setup. We actually used a, what do you call it? We actually used the power cable from an old strimmer my pal had. We just literally cut the cable off, cut the sheath off one of the both ends, along with where it was connected to the plug and the strimmer itself. Exposed the wires, and literally connected the wires up to the cigarette socket to the power supply I've got here, and then just fed all that cable down underneath the floorboards as I've shown you, right through to the boot. On the upside as well, when my pal actually gave me the other 3-way adapter with the USB connection. Now we burnt out the USB connection, we wired it up wrong. Oops. Oopsie daisy. I was standing at the back of the car to start with, to see if the power we wired it up right in the first place, and the next minute, I kind of something's burning round here, and to say the least, the USB port had burnt out. It was smoking well and truly, to say the least, and stunk the car out for a wee while. But we quickly solved it and just changed the wires round, and it's connected up now. So now I've not only got my power supply in the front, which is getting used up now, with supplying power, to both my cameras, front and rear now, and both my lights, which is my rear flashing strobes again, and the front ones. The front ones, which I'm selling because I've got 2 separate units coming now as well, to replace them. I've not had any problems yet. I've not had any videos to upload yet with the rear view hanging, but you never know. It's just there in case. Because after that instant there, that kind of solidified my thought to actually put a camera facing backwards in the vehicle that way. I said, because you see so much for the front, but then at the same time you don't see what's actually happening at the back of a driver.